Okay, day 83 or session 83. Going to work on these settings. Actually, here I see the goal is not up to date, so that is language, language and currency settings. Okay, I updated the goal. So there are these two, they display correctly. I got English, Italian, and Thai, but they don't work yet. I will always say no changes regardless. So this is inside profile screen. Profile screen. Let me resize this correctly. There you go. The profile screen has a bit of many things, and there are various states. Um, if you're signed out, so either not connected at all, which shouldn't happen, but could happen if you no connectivity, or anonymous signed out view or sign in view, regardless, they will have the settings form. However, a first mistake I've done, or the AI has done, now fixing, is that if the whole page scrolls, so we don't need to scroll this bit on its own. So I have here single page child scroll view to remove. What was that? Control? Command? No. Right click? No. Option? Don't remember how. No, I have to just choose a refactor. And now we can choose remove this widget. Okay, there you go. Okay, so the next thing is I got a form here for language and a separate form for currency, and that's not okay. We should have a global form encompassing both. So I have to get this bit, this form here, and yeah, we wrap it here instead of this column. And now we have to close the parentheses, right? Oh, that's it. It wasn't that hard. Okay, now something breaks, but probably because we have two forms, one in the other. Let's keep on fixing before checking. So I remove this form because now it's inside the other form. So it was just right click refactor. Where is it? The last one. Remove this widget. Same here. Remove this form. Refactor. Remove this widget. Okay, in fact, the app went back to a working state. At least it's not working like everything works, but at least it displays the form. Let's go on looking. Now we have a form. The form has a key. And now we have language and currency. Language and currency. Let's see what we got here. There is a title and the only there is no point of having a column here because this is already an array. So I can just get rid of this. Let's see if the effect of cross-axis alignment. Yeah. So basically, I say remove widget again, refactory. I thought there was a key combination as well, but I don't know. Oh, I keep on using the right click. You can use that. What is it? Shift Control Shift R. Don't know if it's worth. Control Shift R. Last one. Yeah, I cannot even scroll. Remove this widget. There you go. Now it just looks the same and is simpler. Nice, I like it. Same here, we don't need this column. This, the code they generated the OVI is like every time you prompt, the entropy grows and it gets more and more complicated. Um, Seldom I seen I simplifying code, but it's very rare. Most of the time it just gets a mess. Um, I see Claude Sonnet doing that sometime. Okay, good. So now it's simpler. Those get a list of widgets, then we just spread them here. They got spacing, everything looks exactly the same, but the code is simpler, and there is one form. So the difference is now these sections that weren't working before, save language to local state and save currency to local state, should work. Probably when we hit this, I'm not sure. So we're gonna test. This output the name of the function, save language to local state, save current to local state, and how it's gonna change from initial value to the new value, and then just override the um, the state, the local state of, the consumer state component. Okay, so let's try. To try that, okay, we can close some of the forms that we don't need, or components we don't need, including that, including that. And this is the test that what it does is it taps on the, just creates the widget, then this is not, that's not really act. This was added by AI, but it's not correct. I forgot to say, ah, let's ask here in a new session to know, corrupt state. Now we're using ZAI, GLM 4.6, pretty good, very cheap. It works for the most part well. And it's for this simple question, it's okay. And it is in testing, what are the three phases? Act, assert. There is another A, I think, for the setup phase. Is there three A's? Let's see. Let's see. So arrange. Yeah, the three A's. Arrange, act, assert. So here, no, act is arrange. We are taking creating the widget. Then act, change currency from default to something else. Right, and then we say act instead of saying find the GBP, change. No, this does not. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can say that. Change the default from default to GBP. So what it does, opens the drop down. Yeah, just one comment is enough. Opens the drop down, find the GBP option. This can be simplified with my executor class, as instead of these two things, we can say await executor, tap on text, that. Also give better error messages, something fail. Okay, so we can simplify that. One line instead of two. Okay, it's not big, but it makes it a little more readable. We can put that together. Okay, then press the save button. So what it does, it press on here, and then it selects pounds, clicks, and then press save. Now it's in Italian, but this test does it in English. Okay, so right now, if I run the test, and then it doesn't assert because that would fail, it's not done yet. What I want to see now is that these two methods are called because they were not before wrapping the form together, and now they should be. Well, let's see. And I'm not going to assert that because I will assert only the result. Oh, this is perfect. So I have language to local state. The language didn't change, obviously. And currency to local state changes from US dollars to pounds. Correct. That is great. So now we want to go a little bit further by saying, let's add a couple of booleans. Maybe is currency dirty? That false. And is language dirty? So modified. And it starts as false. And then here, when we change it, well, you check because the language could be nullable, isn't it? Because it comes from here. Yeah, it could be, it shouldn't be, because it always they are forced to save an to select an option, but in theory it could be nullable. So we need to keep that change. So we execute that only if they are different. Otherwise, there's no point on executing anyway. Language is a string, we can compare like that in Dart. In that case, now we know they are different, so we can say we don't need this, but is language dirty is true, and then we say, oh, you don't need to say this, there will be a warning. There you go, unnecessary this. If I want to keep it to make it clear, I cannot. No problem, right? Same here for currency, but being careful that this currency is an enum. So even better. Um, the equal still works great, even better. So this currency, if it's they're different, now is currency dirty? Is true. Fantastic. Okay. So now, because this test is only about currency, we can say is currency dirty? We have a method here, save default currency, which doesn't do much. Maybe it's better to like get rid of this method and just use it in line. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, yeah, I think it's better. It's too much in direction for just one line of code. It's not worth it. And it's already calling a method, by the way. Alright, so it saved the default currency. And then the easiest thing to do is saying, for now, they would not work for languages, but we start with this. If the currency was not modified, then there are no changes because we are not considering language yet. Okay. Otherwise, we show the currency was saved, but we might. Okay, let's see how that works. We have to uncomment that. Oh, I think I deleted it. Yeah, it's not there anymore. Um, well, that's just that will be show no changes, similar to that. Right, pass the localization, but it doesn't use them yet. Will have to be translated, but so I put the localization just because I will need it soon. And for now, I just say currency changed, and then we'll improve it. Change to, and we'll say to what in a bit. Let's test that. I think this should be auto reloaded, so no changes. Now we change to euro. Oh, wait, what's going on? Okay, there is something wrong. It shows both. What happened else? Ah, because of that. That's if his currency is dirty, now save the currency and show the currency changed, and otherwise there's no change. Okay, now it should work. Don't know why it stays there. Shouldn't say that. That's also a mistake. All right, let me make sure we reloaded the app and let's look at the logs too. So it's not working even this simple bit. Okay, so let's start to press save. Currency changed to uh, so I don't know why it says this Japanese yen. Ah, wait a second. It's kind of not updating to the. Okay, okay. I have to go back. Let's start to say. Ah, hold on. Let's go back to the test. Let's run it one more time to make sure we have the latest. Should show currency change message, the currency modified and saved. Okay. Tapping on currency, start currency US dollars, language English. Tapping on currency selector, open currency drop down, okay. Tapping on pounds, save language, local state, okay, didn't change. And say didn't change. Save currency to local state from USD to US dollars to pounds. And so far, so good. So here we can say change to currency. And maybe let's interpolation necessary string. Okay, remove the brace. Yeah, okay. We can log as well, just to see. Right. Let's run the test again. I don't see. I don't see that. I see save currency to local state. Okay. Maybe it goes here. So let's have add a log here. I will remove those, but for now gives me visibility. So probably goes there. Can only go in one of the two branches, so no output. Why? Ah, so is submit form even executed at all? Probably not. But we put this on pressed submit form. And the test taps on the save button. Hmm. Okay, let's try. This was a little question about the test. Arrange as act assert. Okay, now we know. And going back here, I've refactored to have a single form. Okay. When I execute this test, when I execute this test, the log output is, and we copy and let's run it one more time just to make sure it's fresh, but it is, but yeah. I was, so, oh, that's for submit form. Okay. Uh, so it's in the opposite order of what I was expecting. So that's why it's not working correctly. I think I know. Once we submit form, okay, and we do validate and save form, that's when the other methods are called. Yeah, when you had wait form save. Okay, that's why. So that's okay actually. because when we arrive here, we already saved, so I can add a log line. So my question is gone. I understand now. Add a log line where I see is currency 30 there. And I expect to see through, but let's see. Now the question is why we don't see those log lines. Maybe because the validation failed. If that's the case, or if the widget's not mounted, if that's the case, then we don't see this log line either. Let's try. And then we'll have to dig a little bit more. Oh yeah, apart spell incorrectly, but it's going there. Oh, everything is spelled incorrectly. Look at that. Okay, perfect. So let's so that should display the what does it? The snack bar saying currency changed to GBP in this case. But I don't see this. Let's run this in debug mode. Is there an exception throwing or this should it be awaited? Doesn't look like. Unless the method inside should be awaited. No, doesn't look like. I tried to put that to see. Yeah, this is not a sync, but let's make it a sync for now just to see. Yeah, yeah, it's not a future, so right. Now we can remove this assert, do the assert, currency change message, which is currency change to I something like that, GBP. Here probably this is an in a currency code. Okay. And do the same here. Well, I want to try it here too. Okay. That seems to work, but does it persist it for real? Ooh, I'm not sure about that. I think maybe because let's try a full restart. Mm, Japanese yen. Yeah, it works. Japanese yen. So now euro. Perfect. So it's persisted correctly because we restart. But the test probably won't pass. I don't know why. Okay, what's the error? Ah, it says no changes. What was the initial currency? It would have been US dollars, but I'm not totally sure. Okay, let's see. I go. What? Why is it green? Oh, because I ran language change. Okay, that's red. No element. That's a different one. Let me run all the tests 1 second. So there are 4 tests to work. This is just say, does it render the page? The second one shows no changes when we just tap on the save button. Arrange, act, assert. Okay. Then this one, arrange, act. This is still act. Assert. So this test doesn't find the snack bar. Is that the problem? Best state, no element. So if I this would the test pass because there is no assertion or not? Let's see. Okay, definitely. So it looks like it fails here because it can't find the snack bar message. So even without the assertion, it will fail. Exactly. I think I got better method to do that. Assert, find, import. Text is text key, and one, and expected test text, which is this one. Yeah, that's much better, isn't it? Okay, we can also update the other tests later. And here we can also do await, executor, tap on text, save. Much better. Okay. Yeah, we can also update the other tests, but maybe let's go slow first. Right, we have exactly the same problem. To snack bar. Oh, it doesn't have a key. Oh, yes, it does. It does have the key. That's a weird one. So let's start to update the test. Close to that. Act good. Okay, this is just checking. Show no change. Yeah, if we want, we can change this to say await executor dot tap on text save. So we can delete these lines. And here we can say this, and this should still work. Let's test it. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, that's interesting. Ah, okay, that's different. We need to do this. Run. Okay, there we go. So the problem is this one should show currency change. So if I go here, this seems no changes, of course, because I didn't change it. We change the currency, and it seems to work correctly. So why the test does not? Currency Algerian dinars, whatever. Um, ah, oh, that's much better. Now we go. Let's try it again. No, that's not this execution. No, that was the other test. Okay. This one is asserting that, but instead it does not find the snack bar at all. Okay. So, okay, let's try to put a breakpoint. We know we arrive here because this log is currency dirty, true, perfect. But then, do we go inside here? Show currency saved is the one that shows the snack bar. So unless that method above throws exception, let's invert this too. Okay, let's try again. Go figure. So because that was creating an async gap, I think. Yeah, nothing changed, but this still works. Yeah. Okay, just a testing. I don't know. It's more correct because now we do before the async gap. Okay, so currency is working now. The other one that I didn't tackle yet is the language change. All right. Ooh, that's not okay. So we need one more test. When you press the second time, it shouldn't be changed again. So we have a failure still in the currency. So should show currency change massive when currency must, oh, okay. Let's add another one. Description. Let's call back. Okay. This one. Okay. Oof. Semicolon, yeah. Then it will format correctly. Okay, correct. This one is actually I don't like the should. I just say the thing. Renders settings page with language. If it does not, it will fail. But we are certain that it does shows no changes message, shows currency change message with modify and save, and now shows currency changed message only on the first save. So if I save twice with the same currency, it shouldn't save change twice. So arrange there, act. Every time it's reset, so we can still set to GPP, no problem. Press save. All same so far. And this all same. Let's run it just to have a baseline. Now we save again. Okay, all good. Say act, save the second time. Maybe we don't need the test before then. Yeah, because basically this test includes the other one. So let's get rid of this. It's redundant now. Save the second time. So just press on save. And we want to see no changes and this should fail. Actually, also this command is totally redundant. It already says what is asserting there. So we can just say assert. It's already very clear. Okay, the second time they press save without changing the language, to say no changes, but it doesn't work. Yeah, correct. And it says still currency change. Ah, because of course. I know. I said whenever I start with this dirty false, and whenever well, save currency to local state becomes this currency dirty true, but I never set it back to false. So it makes sense. Okay, okay. So we set it back to false after we save the currency. So where is it? Submit form. Maybe here. No, it's not dirty anymore. I just save it. Great. Now it should work. So we run the test. It does. Okay, tell me why. Says the currency changed. Hmm. Submit form is still true. Ah, do I have to use set state? Maybe. I'm confusing with React. It's all a mess now. I'm lost. Go slowly. Log submit form. Something happens there. Let me try to put this same as before above, if anything changes. Okay. Now let's run the test one more time. Good. Still shows currency changed. Can we ask help to AI? Mhm. Okay, so this one was the previous message. We can keep that. When I run the new test called shows currency change message only on first save. Um, it works correctly for the first save, but on second save, it still says currency changed instead of no changes. Okay. Even if I should currency dirty false. Wow, that's correct. Ah, I know why. Okay, it was correctly just because this is still the previous one. So the when I press here, this stays on for 2 seconds. So if I press in rapid succession, so I change to euros, has changed, then I press again. It takes a while to have the new message. So I think there is an option for so it works, but there is an option to dismiss the previous one. So again, I don't need to ask the question. I like that. That only writing the question is like clarifying the problem. So I don't need to write this question anymore. Uh, Actually, I can. How this is because the previous neck bar is still displayed. How to dismiss? I know there is an option to dismiss it when displaying the second one. Okay, I see. We can help me with that. And maybe I just do another way. Action dismiss direction not quite. Let's see. No, it's a totally different. Hide or remove. Yeah. Okay, it's a new call. It's not an option in there. That's fine. And I think that's the solution. So basically now, when I do this in succession, yeah, it changes immediately without waiting for the previous one. And normally you shouldn't do that, press so quickly, but yeah, if you do, it's okay. So now this test should pass. Green. Okay, very good. Very good. So the third test or fourth, I don't know, and only one failing right now, I think. is about the language. Should show language change when language is modified and saved. We could do the same. Actually, we should do the same, saying that change the first time on show. Let's keep the same name. Remove should. Shows language change message only on, we leave the space, on first save. Okay. So this is not act, this is arrange. Arrange phase. So you bring the widget up to life. Open language drop down. Find Italian option. Pump and settle. Act, press save. Yeah, we can do this a little bit better as await executor, tap on text, save. So instead of these two lines, we have one. Okay. And we should see language set to Italiano. And then actually we will translate this, but for now, I don't add the localization. This can be improved too, to this. Okay. Now we can delete that. And now we can run and see it doesn't work. And this should say no changes instead of that. Yeah, okay, no changes. Correct, because it's not implemented yet. So I go back here. And then there is another case, another test to do later. Maybe I just prepare it. I prepare just the name, test widgets. I change both because in that case I should show a single snack bar with the both changes. Get this. Oh, come on. Because it's annoying. I cannot. Can use the cursor. Go back, close. Do I need a semicolon? Yes, I do. Okay. Shows. The last test to do before we forget is currency and language. Changed only on first save. Okay. Right. So are we doing here? Actually, that I don't know because he restarts the app, so it might be. And now I didn't even. Let's remove this. If we have a problem with mounted, the analyzer will tell us. So we don't need that now. Obviously, we will need a case here for later. Is currency dirty and is language dirty? And that will be to show, that's other comment, show, ah, currency and language changed. Then, if only the currency is dirty, and actually what we can do here is regardless of the case, at the end of all this if block, we can clear currency and language so we don't have to put it that everywhere. And I'm thinking this will be repeated probably is okay, but otherwise I'm thinking how to. But then I will have to test twice currency dirty because of this. So I don't know. Maybe repeating that is not too bad. We just have to add an is language dirty. Let's put it here. Good. And so we show language saved, which does not exist yet. Okay, we think we can start to delete this logging because now we figured out that this thing work. Show language saved. And we keep the localization even though we are not using yet because all of this will have to be translated. But now we focus on the logic, not the translation. So I copy that. Language to change to language. Just a string. I don't know if that will work okay, but we'll see. I don't know if that's a code or the name. Probably is a code, but it's okay. We start from there. So we're not saving it yet. Yeah, this apply language change. Yeah, is this, and then also wants to restart the app. Show the snack bar. Ah, there you go. Yeah, okay, we can take inspiration from this to make it better. So, okay. And the other bit is about the actual change of the language, which is this, the restart we'll see later. So go back here, language save, and save the language. Then here we are in the case in which change both. Again, there is a bit of a repetition. But for now it's not too bad. And then we'll have a show, a new one, a show that we have to show currency and language. Uh, what is the name? Saved. Yeah, it should be changed, not saved, I think. Anyway, keep the name for now. No changes. Currency saved, language saved, localizations. Yeah, also it will work better. No changes. Currency changed. Language changed. Currency and language changed. Okay, we just need to put a message. Actually, I start to copy these two and then mix them in one single message. Okay. Currency changed to and language changed to. Can I say change to only once? Mm. Not easily. At least I don't have an idea now. Okay, so all this is not necessary anymore. This is my logic. If it's they're both dirty, I show the message that they are both dirty, and I say both. Otherwise, this or this. The alternative way to do that is to do an if only for the messages. Yeah, maybe better, and maybe this can be extracted. So just need a separate if for is currency. If the currency is dirty, I save the currency without else. If language is dirty, I save the language. So I could save both. What happened? Okay. So probably this is better. Currency is dirty, save the currency. If language is dirty, I save the language. Now we can remove all this and that. So this is now, I don't need to add as well anymore. So it works. At least I hope it does, but we'll see with the test. Um, and now this can be extracted, including the localization, I think, yep, to show an appropriate snack bar message. The generic one is called show snack bar, okay. But we have to make a new one, refactor, extract method, underscore, show snack bar message. It's kind of the opposite probably. So that what I mean is this is show snack bar message. Where did he go? Ah, here. Ah, let's move that down together with all the snack bar thing. So this is the highest level. The low level is this. So let's rename this to 2 for the second. So this one I want to call it shows, oh no, F2, show snack bar message. And now I can call this show snack bar. Okay, I think it makes more sense. All right, let's go to see the main logic here. Submit form, we don't need that anymore. All right, validate, show snack bar, and then it says if the currency is dirty, save the currency. If language is dirty, save the language, and then reset the dirty. If I want, I can reset it only if it was dirty, because otherwise it false already. Doesn't change much, but maybe it's more clear. Okay, nice. Go back to the test. This test should pass in theory. No, obviously. Okay. Yep, it does pass. It's just a message different because I said change to running again. hmm What's going on? Expected. Yeah. I don't know. I see that message. How it is. Language changed. Ah, that's the whole sentence. That was already. the whole translation. So it's just the abbreviation. Okay, never mind. I think it's good enough for now. Set to this time it will work. Okay, we agree. So if I run all the tests, they should all pass. We just have to add more tests. Oh, the last test. Oh, one doesn't work anymore. This was working. Yeah. I Oh yeah, we can add a comment here. First save and a comment here, second save. And the ones failing the second save, but it's better we have these comments because the failure will be easier to understand. Second save. Hmm. Why did we break it? Oh, we there you go. I exchanged them. Is currency dirty? Is language dirty? Okay, good, good. That's why we have tests. So now all the tests should pass, right? Oh, same. I thought I fixed it. Oops. Again, let's try. Would this fix it? Uh, that's really weird. It's like, why? Maybe because of the weight, but we are not. I know. Okay. We are not really awaiting submit form. Let's just yeah, okay. We're not awaiting submit form. So when and there is no way to await it. So it's just because the test check immediately, then it doesn't see the change. But now it's before the await, so we see the change. Okay. In real life, both ways would work. But for test purpose, so all the tests should pass now. The only case is when we change both that we didn't write it yet. So start with the arrange. Maybe that can be maybe that can be extracted in the setup. It's always same. The arrange, no, this setup is executed once or before each test. Before each test, so we could move that up. But before I do that, I think it's better to do it at the end. So there you go. We arrange that. Then let's change the language first, or the currency first. Let's change the language first in the same order on the form. Change the language, and now we change the currency too, and we press save. And we assert that it was changed. The message won't be that one because it's both, but let's run it like that. See the failure. Should say language and currency changed. Text with key currency change. Okay, there you go. Currency change to pounds and language change. Uh, yeah, ah, we need to internationalize that a little bit better. So where is this? Um, show snack bar. This one. Okay, we internationalize later, so we just show this. Right, try again. Perfect. And then we'll expand that as well. IT. Oh, there is a closing brace. Should be there. Once more. Oh, now it's good enough. Currency change to GBP and then we change to IT. Okay. Okay, so the test should now pass. Yeah, green. And then we press on save again. And now we assert no changes. Ooh, I didn't finish the other test. Here too. Okay. And here too. Second time. Press on save again. This time no changes. Okay. Let's run this test. Changing only language. Green. And the testing which we change both language and currency, or currency and language. And we are ready. Mhm. Second save. Ooh, it just says language set to IT. So is language dirty? Is set to false? I don't understand. Oh, it's probably because the language is not saved correctly then. Save the language to local state. Correct. Same as the other. So why doesn't work? And let's test here. Yeah, it says that even though I didn't change it. If I change both, uh, yeah, okay, I need to go now. But very good progress. There is only one test failing. It's a little bit weird, but I will figure out. Okay, let's check the test once more. But click here should go there, but it doesn't. Annoying. Um, arrange, change language, change the currency, press save, and we got this. And then we just save without changing anything. And we see the same behavior here. No change. Oh, no, we don't. If we do change both, then I press again. No, that works. Is this a timing issue? Does the language change work? You need to restart the app, I think, to really see the changes. It keeps it, but all right, we'll go on later. Okay, thanks. Bye bye.